Hey, Victoria.
I'm here.
The sun'll come up in Victoria.
On Victoria.
Welcome, everyone, to another
For
exciting
Victoria.
episode. Can you believe it?
I know.
It is another exciting episode of what, Victoria?
Feel it real fun for all on the 23rd of August, 2024.
That's right.
And it's your manifesting questions answered live.
Hey, we have a live call. We'll put a link in the comments on our timeline on Sunday. It's about mood. And one of the secrets with mood is every mood has a different pacing. And, which comes down to, anyway.
Cool.
That's right. I'm not in the mood to continue with that.
Okay, a mood to continue with that. Okay.
Anyway, all right. Let's hit that one too. Bop, bop. All right.
All right.
So,
Yes.
visit us at howtofeelitreal.com. Sign up for the free goodies, get the daily email, and you'll get cool shit like notifications about a live call on USA Sunday.
Yes. Was there anything else?
What
Because I
else?
never know what you want to... What? Crasscommercial.com.
No, we didn't buy that yet.
No, I know.
And I guess that's pretty good. All right, cool. So, Victoria, shall we read today's Neville Goddard quote, and we will dive into
Ooh,
today's show.
quote first. Cool.
Yes.
Okay. So,
That way, while the cool kids are joining, we can fill up time.
Okay, so Neville says, when the desire is upon you, that is the time to accept your wish in its fullness. Claim possession now and let it objectify itself in its own strange way. Do not say it'll take 6 months or a year. The minute desire comes upon you, assume it is already a fact.
All right, so one of the things that you're going to see in today's show, and probably hear in today's show too, is the fact that a lot of people are feeling it will happen someday. So they're not playing with 2-day wins, and I'm a massive fan of everyday wins. Rose and Alessandra, welcome to the show. So, shall we dive in with the questions, Victoria?
Okay, so,
Oh my God,
what?
it's talking to me. These gotta come off.
Is
It's telling me
glasses.
about updates coming into Messenger. Since I had to change phones, it's quite the experience having these different voices in my head, but I digress.
Okay, so the first question today is from Rikesha in Power of Imagination.
Yeah, Rikesha.
Of course, you'd say something different.
We're
Rikesha.
married. Can you tell?
What is the definition of assuming? And Rikesha asks, what is the actual definition of believing or assuming? Because I go to sleep in the wish fulfilled and wake up seemingly to the same things week to week, month to month, and year to year, and I'm tired. I need change in my life bad, and I think I'm doing the work, and yet my physical state hasn't seemed to change. It actually seems to have gotten worse.
This is really great. Penny, hey, welcome. The glasses told me that you just did something. I don't know what, but I had to
Did
take them off.
something.
But I'll get back to the something you did in a bit. So welcome to the show. So this is really, really cool. So Rikesha, otherwise known as Rikesha, right?
Okay.
So what is the actual definition of believing or assuming? I don't know. I'm not a fan of definitions. What I'm a fan of is explorations. So here's what I notice. What are you accepting as true? What you're accepting as true determines everything. So I asked you a follow-up question because this is really important, and we're going to get to some cool stuff by examining this. Ready? So my follow-up question was something like, hey, what do you do in the morning? And Rikesha says to me,
I lay there a moment and show gratitude for waking up and set my intention to have a good day, then get dressed and get ready for the day.
all right, so I intended this morning to be nice to Victoria.
How did you go?
yeah, how did that work out, right?
Yes.
Now, actually, so I imagined having fish for lunch. Right, we talked about this.
We did.
And it's like radio, so that bounced around in the realm of possibilities. And so I gave it life in the realm of possibilities, and I accepted fish for lunch. And what happened was I went to the Kohl's, and the Kohl's has it's just screwed. Right? They just totally screwed it up.
Yes.
And I went, right, I talked to Green and Red Things Tom, I talked to some chick, Bacon Girl wasn't there, and it's like, radio. I've got 15 minutes before the bottle shop and the health food store open up because I spend a lot of money on liquids.
In both.
And I needed liquids from both.
Yes.
And so I strutted. I took my shopping bag to the other store. Right, which before I wouldn't do. I'd drive and so on. But now I can strut over there. I had a lot of fun. Waved at people, made new friends, walked into the other store, got the fish. Now here's the cool thing. I imagined a very specific fish. Can anyone guess what it is, Victoria?
Yeah, barramundi.
And you know what they don't have? They don't have out? They don't have any, right? And I said, hey, any chance? Right? And so I decided I wanted 2 barramundi tails because they're nice and thin. They cook relatively nice. And she brings them out. Well, she goes in the back. She comes out with a box, and it's fresh, which is what I want. It's skin on, which is what I want. And she goes, what would you like? And I said, do you have any tails? Can I have 2? Skin on. And it is fresh, right? And that's what I got. Now, here's the cool thing, right? I don't intend to have a good lunch. I don't intend to answer your questions. I imagine what implies I did. So when I go to this thing, like, what do you do in the morning? Because this tells me a secret about you. So read those again. This is really, really important.
It's what she does in the morning. I lay there a moment and show gratitude for waking up.
Unless you're 95.
I'm thinking you might die tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, not a fan of that, just for fun, right? So I experience gratitude that we've had fish for lunch first thing in the morning. So first thing in the morning is 5 a.m., lunch is 1 p.m., but I've already experienced and expressed my experience of her right? The second thing.
And set my intention to have a good day.
I intend to be nice to her today. Right? It just never works out, right? I had an intention, right? On the other hand, if I have an experience that implies my wish has already been fulfilled, carp, by the way, is a nice fish. I agree. If I experience what implies to the point where I've let it go, right? I let it go. I walk into the first store, total shithole. I go over to the butcher's, he's got nothing out, and he says, what do you want? And he gives me 2 choices. I said, nope, that ain't going to work. Right? So I strut over to the other store because I've got time. It's not even there, but I feel like asking them, so I do, and I get the perfect fish. It's delightful, right? So
and the tail that we love, and it was thinner slice.
So it'll cook up perfectly,
really
right?
quick. Yeah.
So this is where I'd begin. We have something called josephgoddardtothemax.com where I detail my exact protocol every morning. And I've given you a lot here. If you want to dive deep into it, it's a cool little pack, and you can get it at josephgoddardtothemax.com. Because here's the deal. Neville's dad, Joseph, every day would sit in his Berbice chair and imagine specific events of his day already having gone his way. And we took that and ran with that because as you wake up in the morning, you are actually imagining things about your days. Alex, thank you. And imagining the specific things about your day having gone your way is pretty different than having an intention to have a good day.
Yeah.
Totally different beasts. It's like the difference between
being grateful for waking up. It's different to that too.
Yeah. And by the way, I hang out with a lot of really old people at the pool, and some of them really are grateful to. I mean, they're thankful they woke up again. And it's like, cool, I get it.
Yeah.
But they've imagined coming back to the pool to be entertained by my bullshit. So, which again is probably more of a specific. Yeah. But I digress.
Cool, there
they go. Radio.
Yes.
So, Victoria, shall we continue? Rikesha, stick around. We're going to continue to answer your question and others as we continue through today's show.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
By the way, Alex, is there... No, I'm not going to ask you to try to find a link to the Sunday call. Alex, try to find a link to the Sunday call. That'll be... So if you go to NevilleGoddardStore.com, click on the 2024 section, there is a link to the live call Sunday there, if you feel up to a challenge, my friend. So, and podcast, yours. Next.
Okay.
I'm that guy.
Right. The next question is from Sinead in Power of Imagination. Talking to yourself out loud. Okay.
The sun will come up tomorrow.
And Sinead asks, thoughts on talking out loud to yourself? And yes, I reply with the imaginary version of the person. People say it's the first sign of madness, but I couldn't give a toss. It's fun, but am I messing up my ends? There have been plenty of times the out loud conversations were me explaining to someone how they hurt me.
So Neville Goddard says, there's one power, that's the imaginal experience, and it leads everything else, including the physical experience and expressions. And the second thing I love is the greatest talent. The greatest talent is forgiveness, but not like, I forgive you because of the way you were, the way you were yesterday, today, this morning. She actually took the fish paper, right? And I said, look, I'm leaving it there for a reason. But she took it. And I forgive her for that because she doesn't understand. Okay. Right? Really, though, forgiveness is forgetting. Right? When you can actually forget, right? What happens is, I love the whole thing of like you're giving them rent-free access to your head. You're letting them live inside your life, right?
Yeah.
And
or when you can't forget, like
yes.
when it's like, well, I forgive you.
Yeah. Well, I was leaving the parking lot today in the Silver Bullet. Right. I should show him the Silver Bullet. So I was leaving the parking lot in the Silver Bullet, and there was somebody that had a turn signal on to turn right next to where I was going to pull out at. And one of the things that my daddy taught me, and my daddy is a very wise man, he said, ignore that. Right? And so they're coming down, they're doing about 25, 30 Ks, and they got their turn signal on, and I realize they're not turning.
They're not stopping.
They're not stopping, they're not turning, and I'm not going to be their backstop. Right? And so I ignore that kind of stuff. Now here's the cool thing. A turn signal can indicate that they may be turning. I look for the actual behavior. The behavior of the car indicates the experience of the driver. They're going forth. Right? And it's the same with this. So if you find yourself wanting to go, and then Victoria said, this is Victoria. Yeah, back in the bed, Victoria. Oh, no, 20. Yes, Victoria. You get your biscuits in the oven and your buns in the bed, Victoria. Right? Yeah. Oh, 20, are you sure? Yes, don't get them confused, Victoria. Right? Yeah. These reveal the state that you're in. So if your state if these outer inner conversations reveal that you're in a shit state, you don't stop the indicator, edit the indicator, so on and so forth. You change the driver. But more on that as we continue, and I appreciate your question deeply.
So, great. So, firstly, thank you, Alex. You've got a clickable link there, which is ACE for the Sunday call.
All right, Sunday.
So, hang on. I don't know if I went somewhere, but about talking out loud.
Yes.
Like you gave the example of that car's not stopping. Did
yes.
you? How was that? Did you say it out loud? I don't know.
Oh, there was an indicator, right? So the indicator doesn't steer the car. The talking out loud doesn't change reality in any direction.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it sure as shit reveals where you're at.
Yeah, and I got you as well when you were sort of saying about forgetting is forgiving.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, okay.
You get it? We're having fun here with this, right? I'm forgiving her for the way she is.
For not paying attention
Victoria.
The whole time.
Yeah, and you know what's going to happen after the show. I'm like, well, if she only paid attention. Well, Victoria, I do pay attention. Well, no, you don't, 20. What? I'm confused. So am I. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't either.
Okay, all right.
But I seem to digress.
That was for Sinead. Thank you very much for your question.
Thanks, Sinead. Appreciate that.
Excuse me.
Stay tuned as we continue to answer your questions and Rikesha's and Sachi's live.
Oh, yeah, Charasserie.
Charasserie.
Yeah, Charasserie.
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
I reserved the right to mispronounce your name differently than Victoria does.
Every time.
Right?
It will be different.
That's right.
Okay. The next question's from Dream Driven Day Sachi.
By the way, if I kept score and she kept score, like, well, you mispronounced this name and I mispronounced that name. Remember that other name that we mispronounced, both of us. Keeping score prevents us from connecting with each other. On the other hand, what are we really doing? Right? So if you notice these conversations that you're spontaneously happening imply something lovely, cool. If you notice that they're having you keep score, they're preventing you from swinging the bat. Because the fellow that's up there adjusting the scoreboard can't swing the bat. But the person swinging the bat, they're not paying attention to the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Right? They're just feeling the time, they're feeling the flow.
And there
Boom.
you go. She said she loves the way you mispronounce her name.
Oh, I love that.
You weren't talking to me, of course.
Says Victoria's going to keep score now. Forgiveness is what? Keeping score.
Right. The next question is from Dream Driven Day. Sachi, they toil not.
Says.
And Sachi asks, 20, just curious, what state were the lilies on the mount? For they toil not. It'll be nice to dwell in that state. Thank you.
I love this. Yeah, so we've got the lilies, we've got the sparrows, the songbirds. And here's what's... I'm getting tired of this show, of trying to answer questions like this. We can make anything toil. Right? We can make anything make our blood boil. Right? Anything. Oh my God, we can make anything like oh my God, I'm in the mood for a meltdown, and I'll make anything work. I'll make anything something for me to be angry about, just for fun, right? People do that. They find satisfaction with that kind of thing. And so one of the things that I notice is we can let anything become entertaining. And I don't mean something to make fun of or to make light of, but we can let anything become fuel for the fire of us, right? You're the spark behind the eyes. And so when I think about these things, that whole part in Scripture where it talks about basically worry not. Will the worry give anything to anyone?
Yeah,
Will the anger give anything to anyone? On the other hand, I didn't work hard to get her fish this morning. God, I had so much fun flirting with the fish lady, right? And the fish lady wasn't the usual fish lady. She popped up out of nowhere, and I went, oh my God, a ninja, right? And
is she just as short?
No, she's tall.
All right.
and so she got me my fish, and I told her, I says, I'll make sure I let Thelma know how wonderful you were. And there was another lady helping her out. I said, both of you. I'll tell Thelma, you guys were awesome. And so I was getting up, and I cash out, and I'm leaving, and there's Thelma's daughter. And I'm like, oh my God, April, will you tell Thelma? Right? Yeah, the two back there today were awesome. Not as good as her, but awesome.
Yeah.
And I just have fun. I'm having so much fun. And it could have been a toil. Well, I got to go to the other shops. Well, I got to deal with someone. I got to ask because it's not out there. And these people, if they only did their job. All that inner auditory. Talk about slavery. By the way, we're doing that mood call Sunday. Alex shared a link. Right, still a few seats left. Mood has to do with pacing. Pacing has to do with speed. Speed and pacing both have to do with, does it feel like toil? Does it feel like work? Going way back to the first question. If this feels like work, doing something now for a paycheck later, I'll make sure I get the fish so she'll be friendly. Right? Yeah. By the way, that's the secret, right? You want a woman to be friendly? Buy her fish. Right.
Okay.
Anyway. Cool. All right. How'd I do? Is that all right?
Yes.
It would be nice to dwell in that state. It is nice. And at any moment in time. Rikesha, hey! We answered your question earlier.
Yes.
But we'll continue to answer it as we keep going.
Rikesha spells it with a C, so I'll have to remember that.
Didn't I spell it with a C?
No,
No, I didn't.
Hopefully I don't spell it wrong in the edits.
All right, this is great. Keeping score. That's right. By the way, she's not. You get how much fun we have with this, right? 20, I am not. I know you're not. Anyway,
Okay.
But tune back in, Rikesha. Actually, stay tuned now and tune back in later.
Yeah.
And so on. So,
Cool.
all right.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
The next question's from Carl via Messenger. Why don't you promote the carnivore diet? And Carl asks, since it's working for you, why don't you promote it?
That is an absolute great question. Carl. If that's your real name, right? You know who you are. Love you. Right? So here's what's really, really cool, right? So this fella posted a post on muscular sclerosis. Right? Boy, can I not say that right. Right? Jerry Amica, I need you to write it out like 1,000 times on a blackboard for me. Muscular sclerosis. Right? Why am I asking you? Because I love you and you're here. So nice to see you.
Just say it is.
So,
Yes.
so there's some comments, some things to do, so on and so forth. And one of the lovelies puts up about the carnivore diet, and I'm a fleshitarian. All I eat is flesh, right? And I love being able to say it like that, because when people ask, like, about what do I eat, and I tell them I'm a fleshitarian. I'm the first fleshitarian, and I made up the first fleshitarian recipe, right?
See, Alex loves the carnivore diet.
That's good. Oh, Alex, you're a fleshitarian too then, right?
Yes.
Now, here's what's fun. I don't blame it. It's a bridge. Now, here's what's cool. As much as I love eating flesh, and as much as I love my Mercedes, Lisa and LaRock and Sizzle are two people I think about every single day, because Mercedes people, right? Oh, Jerry, look at you. Did you cut and paste? Or are you that fast? So, as much as I love my Mercedes, it's not the reason why I get to the pool. The reason I get to the pool or the gym is because of what I imagine. Because a lot of people will buy a Mercedes and just stare at it in the driveway, or they'll push it, or they'll get in there and they'll be too afraid to drive it, or they'll drive past the pool, or anything. Because I go on these carnivore boards. I'm a member of probably 7, 8 carnivore groups, as you probably know. And so I'm on there, and I study people. That's what I do. I study the divine expression in the human experience and how they dance. That's just my insaneness. And so I watch these people imagine up struggle, and I study how they do that, and I get in little texty messages with them and so on. And so here's the thing. They imagine struggle, and it don't work. Right? They imagine it may or may not work, and it don't work. I didn't even imagine, and here's the other thing, right? I didn't imagine I'm going to eat flesh and lose weight. I imagined myself being fighting fit, and I found myself going, the only thing I'm hungry for is meat. Well, might as well be the world's first fleshitarian, right? Because that's what I'm eating, right? And so I can't blame the diet. Now, here's the other thing. I know people that have had one chiropractic treatment, and it's a miracle. I know people that have one acupuncture treatment, and it's a miracle. I know people that go to the chiropractor every week, and it works for them. I know people that have gone to the chiropractor a lot, and it doesn't. Always. Sometimes it doesn't. Much. And then they need something else. It's because they're imagining something like struggle. So, yeah, by the way, I will tell people, hey, you ought to consider this. Right, just for fun. But I'd imagine being whatever you want first. Yeah, healthy, fit, be like Anthony Johnson. He's too sexy for his thing, right? Yeah, I think you're a Mercedes man too, aren't you? So there's Anthony, right? And if you imagine getting results, you will find the vehicle. But if you try to find the vehicle first, or say, you know what, it's like, hey, everybody should have a Mercedes because it gets you to the pool.
Nearly didn't yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, they're self-healing, which is a fascinating thing, right? So there's that. So that's it. Yeah, I will tell people, hey, maybe you ought to consider this, right? I'm a massive fan of entrepreneurialism and capitalism. Capitalism defined by me is if I do push-ups, my arms get bigger. Now, since my arms get bigger and I get stronger, I can also lend more help to people, like cut the grass.
Yes, you did.
Right? Now, that's called fun. On the other hand...
I'll remember that.
Well, on the other hand, if I do push-ups and her arms get bigger, well, she can cut the grass. What's that? Socialism, communism? It's not capitalism, and it's not natural. Right? I'm a big fan of natural. So this is where I suggest playing. Right? What's natural? Neville says that there's one cause. Right? Go play with it. And then notice what you do. Right? Not everyone's built to be a capitalist. Some people just want to sit around and suck on mommy's thumb. That's good on you, right? Some people, they want to eat sugar. Good on you. I don't want it. But, you imagine what you imagine about your health, your money situation, and so on, and let your vehicle show up. So, you have an Acura, Anthony? Okay, Anthony's Acura. All right, yeah, alliteration. Love you. Right, what if you got a Johnson? So you're Johnson. So that'd be like a Johnson's Junker. You could get a Rolls Canardly, right? Rolls down one hill, can hardly make it up the next. All right, that was
very good.
that was me. All right, I was entertained. So
okay, excellent. So that was for Carl, if that was his name, you said.
Yeah, Carl, if that's your real name.
If that's your real
name.
I
love you.
Thank you for your
A
question.
great question, Carl.
Yes. And the last question today is from remarkable Lisa and LaRock, singing rails. And Lisa asks, hi, 20 in Victoria. Yesterday I was hiking the Appalachian Trail. Wow, that must have been fabulous.
That would have been beautiful. I love the Appalachian Trail.
At one point, the trail was intersected by a railroad track. I was uncomfortable crossing it, and my trail buddy told me the tracks sing when a train is approaching. The train heralds its imminent arrival. As you said in Remarkable, your happy, loving teacher identity is inspired to a new call, which is like the singing rails, calling forth your devotion to the desire. The wish fulfilled is thundering to its destination. Tell us more about how devotion is beckoned forth once the desire is seeded.
Wow.
I love how you put words together, Lisa. That's just gorgeous. Right.
So that's what I did this morning, by the way. Wow. So I get to discover whether or not I answer the question and how it shows up. Whatever shows up. So I notice we can go in, we can go out, and we can go big. And when we can do all three, right, without preference, like I can go out, go in, and go big, right? And when we allow freedom of movement within, the beckoning of a desire shows up. The beckoning to me is like a song. And the song continues to grow.
To a crescendo.
I think about, I heard Under Pressure this morning. And I'd strongly suggest to everyone, give that a listen. There's also Imminence Front. Give that one a listen. Notice how they start out with just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Here we go, right? And to me, that's how a beckoning happens. So we finished up the Destiny program, and there was some stuff, quote unquote, on my mind, in my cloud, in my ether. And I just sort of check in, look out, access big, and it's like, okay, it's time to do a call. So I write the world's worst ed copy, do all the stuff, I let the things sort of dribble in and so on, and the water gets gardened, the garden gets watered, right? And so I don't have to force anything to happen. The garden gets watered. So years ago, way back that way, near those trees, and where those trees are, Victoria made soil. And so she bought lots and lots of stuff, stacked it up, mixed it up, added stuff. We put in some plants and made soil. And this soil has been growing for years. Plants have played their part, little rootlets in there, microorganisms, and it's alive. In other words, if I scooped my hand down in there and pulled it up,
there'd be so many worms.
There'd be so many worms, so many critters, such a lovely vibration, the experience, the expression of life. So way before the train gets there, the rails have to sing. The rails
I
have
love
to sing.
that, and I remember learning that. I remember some people, when I was younger, even said, yeah, you can hear it from a long way off. In fact, if you put your ear on the track, I was like, well, I don't know about that one. But you can hear it coming from even further away. Yeah, sorry.
You can even touch the track. I wouldn't touch the third rail. Right, that's just a given, right? But you can touch the track, and just experience that there's something there. There's just something there. In our culture, we're trained to look both ways and then cross the street. May or may not be useful, but it's a short bit versus if you can just go in, go out, go big. Yeah, you're going to notice so much more. And so, I think that's what I got. Got anything else?
Well, the one thing that I thought of, which you've taken it so much further, so it's beautiful, but was just like how the birds sing.
Yeah, nice. I was going to go
before dawn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, especially our magpies, and we hear them. It's like it's basically almost still dark outside, and we've got those magpies near our bedroom window, and we just hear them calling forth the day, or the change of seasons as well. You can feel,
or the snake in the garden.
Yeah, yeah. So you can feel, you can sense the beckoning when, or hear it, smell it, whatever it is, of a new direction. I don't know what the word is, but yeah.
So the songbirds beckon. The songbirds sing their song of thanksgiving before the sun rises in the sky. And so it's a fascinating, and I love that philosophy. I picked that up years ago, and I've shared it thousands of times. The songbirds sing their song of thanksgiving, and that brings the sun up in the sky. Oh my. The songbirds also tell us about the snakes. The songbirds tell us about cats. The songbirds will tell us where the dogs are.
Yep.
I'll come home and like, all right, where's Victoria? If the puppies don't tell me, the birds will. Pretty fast. And so we get to just really just tune in to when you get your desire is divine in origin. Let's call that big, and it's got its own plan and power of fulfillment. Let's call that inside outside. And we can access all of those at any time, and we don't have to control a damn thing.
That's the other thing I just wanted to mention as well, was like when you hear for example, the rails singing, or at dark, and I'll hear the magpie. It's like I know, it's about to break, dawn's about to break.
Yes.
But there's no doubt.
There's no doubt, no
There's
room for it.
There's no doubt in that. We know that's happening. And it's only us that doubts, have I sown the seed properly, or do you know what I mean? And it's when we think that you've doubted it, and it's almost like shut a door on the beckoning.
So ready? Doubt happens at a particular pace. It just does. Doubt is a mood. Right? It happens at a particular pace. It almost always involves internal auditory. On the other hand, when there's no room for doubt, it's a different pace. Join us on the live call Sunday. Right? Crass commercial. Right? A different pace. Years ago, right? I was doing some marriage counseling. And it's like, you guys argue way too slow. You have to do this at twice the speed. Go. They couldn't do it. You have to do it at half the speed. Go. They couldn't do it. But they settled into a particular pacing that enabled them to have arguments back and forth. On the other hand, if we can play with pacing, and there's a lot more to it than what I'm saying, but this is where we begin, doubt happens at a particular pace, right? So does the singing of the rails. All right. I think I'm brilliant.
Yes.
Done.
So is Alex. He's put that link
Thanks,
up for
Alex.
everyone again. Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
And
Boom.
he did wonder if the songbirds tasted as good as they sound.
Depends on the bird.
Okay. Chicken does. I don't know about many other birds. Okay. Thank you, Lisa, for your magnificent question again. And what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit. I don't know. You go, babe.
I don't know.
No.
That happens at a particular pace, too. By the way, it's not good or bad. It's just a pace. And if she tries to figure out what her strawberry bit is, she'll just torture herself and say something dumb. On the other hand, as her pace naturally chases... By the way, we all do this. I'm going to try to figure something out. Might even be brilliant, right? On the other hand, if she accesses outside, inside, big, right? Suddenly, you'll watch her in all the shows. Wow, my strawberry bit is she'll access something. Wow. So, did you access something? Or
Is that your strawberry bit? Of how I can actually access something instead of saying something dumb? I don't know. What was your...
By the way, you get what I'm keeping track of with her?
Yeah.
How she accesses.
Yeah.
She changes a pace, and something lovely shows up. Now, here's something that's fun. Before or after the show ends, she'll come up with a strawberry bit. And it will come out of what we call the blue. And it'll come out of the blue at a pace that she couldn't anticipate, which is where desire also comes from.
Cool. Okay.
So do you have one now?
No.
Do you have one now? We're just going to wait.
So that was 20 strawberry bit while you type in yours.
Tell you what, my strawberry bit is
Yes.
you.
Thank you, babe.
Seriously, darling. I just love how we dance
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
what you bring, what you give.
Thanks. Okay. Yes, while you type in your strawberry bits, check out Sunday's call.
Alex shared the link, right? There's still a few seats left. Love to have you there.
Where did they go again? Freeneville.com and
if you go to freeneville.com, go in the 2024 section.
Yeah.
It's still in there if there's seats. So
Cool.
click and join. It'll be a lot of fun.
Cool.
And
Cool.
howtofeelitreal.com. If you're just getting started with what we do, and you're not ready to invest money in stuff like Joseph Goddard to the max or live call recordings, whatever, howtofeelitreal.com. Sign up for those, get those, have fun.
Yeah.
And there they go. All right.
Excellent. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Twinte.
Isn't she awesome? By the way, let's all sing a song to Jerry and Mika because he's got a baby now. He got another baby. He pulled it out all by himself.
So
Ready?
has he got 3 now?
Got 3 now.
Oh, Jerry.
Ready? Yeah, you're like Catlick in disguise, right? Ready? Let's all sing. Happy baby Jerry. Happy baby Jerry. Happy baby Jerry. And I know your sweetheart had something to do with it, too.
I think a lot.
Happy baby Jerry. Cool. This is where you find out if he's left.
He's probably not here.
There he is. He is here.
He
So
is.
see, he sticks around. That's right.
Cool.
Love you, Jerry. Have a great day, everyone.
See ya.